It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
All right, guys, it's Wednesday. It's 8:02 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. We are live on Wrestling Soup's Discord channel. And it's me again. You already know who I am. I'm Drew. This is the Drew Yari Show. Lightning, we just started. We literally just started. So you're just in time. And welcome back to the show, Mr. Representing Spinebuster Tees, Justin.
Yes, sir. That's owner of SpinebusterTees.com. I'm glad to be back, and pretty slow news week, so far. But we have a couple shows that we're going to be talking about from this week.
Right, and lately wrestling has, like we touched base on last week, wrestling has been pretty good to us, and in the form of WWE. And last week we sung the praises of Triple H, and now it seems about that time to sing his praises again, because again, the shows as of late, last week's SmackDown, Raw, last night NXT's Heat Wave. I mean, they've all been pretty good shows. We don't have to do like an in-depth review of like match by match, but just kind of going over what we thought worked, what we thought didn't work. So Let's start with Friday on SmackDown. So, SmackDown, August 12th. Let's see. The show began with a women's tag team title match tournament. You had Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah versus Shotzi and Xia Li. Raquel and Aaliyah going over. It was an okay match. It wasn't anything special. You look at this bracket, and you can kind of tell who's going to be in the finals and who's going to more than likely win it. What did you think about this match overall?
I mean, it wasn't much of anything special so far. The tournament hasn't been too great as far as matches is concerned. I know we're going to talk about Raw, what happened on Raw, but these matches haven't been great so far, but really the second rounds is going to be the most intriguing, to me at least, but, I'm not really a fan of I'm a fan of Shotzi. I'm a fan of Shotzi, sort of a fan of Raquel, not a fan of Aaliyah at all. You know what I mean? So, but overall, I get what WWE's doing, but, overall, I just think that, the match could have been better.
Yeah, it was what it was. Because I think Shotzi should just be a face, in my opinion. Like,
I agree 100%.
Like I've always said about Shotzi, she's marketable. Like, WWE I think could make a killing off of selling those like toy tanks at like fucking Target or Walmart or something. And
right.
And she's likable. She's very likable. So I don't know. I kind of wish they would make her a face again, but we'll see. And then Raquel, I like Raquel, but just I'm not a fan of the whole smiling, happy Raquel. I like the badass bitch Raquel.
Yeah.
And Lightning's asking me how is she marketable. It's just an opinion. Because like it's kind of like how not Shotzi, but hear me out. It's kind of like how Sasha I think is marketable because she has all the bright colors, and she has the green hair, and she has the helmet. She looks like a badass.
Yeah. Shotzi's definitely marketable. So like to me, marketable doesn't mean like, you are in the mainstream. She could be marketable towards a certain demographic. So I can see her being marketable to that hot topic type of, crowd, right? The late teens, early 20s folks, and I'm pretty sure that, she loves her, obviously she loves her rock music, her metal or whatnot, but, so I can see her being marketable with that particular, group.
She's like Lita, almost. In a way, she's kind of like the new Lita. in some aspects, where she's the punk.
That.
She's the punk rock girl. She's she's very pretty, and she can work and she can talk and she has personality. And and Anna, Hot Topic is still a thing. I actually bought some shirts from Hot Topic, so
For sure.
And I still have my Hot Topic card, which every time I go there, and like they'll say, "Okay, what's your phone number?" and I'll just pull up my card, and they'll go, "You still have that?"
Mm-hmm. Same thing with GameStop for me. Like I saw like the GameStop, whatever it's called now, but yeah.
I don't know. I keep my shit. Next is a promo leading into another promo. Karrion Kross cut a pretty good promo where he just talked about, or he kind of brought up the fact that he was released, and he said, I was cast out like an unused toy, and now I'm back to get what I want, and I'm after Roman Reigns and Drew. And then he sees Drew going out, and Drew addressing Kross, but at the same time not really addressing him. So I think that's interesting, that he's like, his focus is on Roman, but at the same time he's like, Drew is someone else that's, I can meet down the line, which that makes for an interesting feud, to this feud. But he talks, and then Scarlett comes out and distracts him. And then the Usos come out from behind of Drew and give him the 3D. And they tell Scarlett, tell your man Karrion Kross, this is the Tribal Chief's Island, or something like that. And then Scarlett says, "Oh, funny. He wanted me to tell you the exact same thing." And I thought, all right. Nice segment. What did you think about the segment?
I think they are clearly establishing I was going to call him Killer Kross, but Karrion Kross as the top, or one of the top heels in WWE. He's going to be the second top heel in the company, right behind Roman, right? Mm-hmm. I can see them positioning that for him, and the fact that, it's only the second week, but so far so good. He doesn't need to be in front of the crowd every single week. Make it special. Make it seem like, he's a very big special attraction, right? You know what I mean? So if he's backstage cutting promos and if Triple H goes back to his I don't want to say old school, but his former NXT booking habits, where you have promos building up your stars, and you don't have them wrestle every week. You don't have them in front of the crowd every week. I think that would be a good model, because at the end of the day, you won't get burned out. You won't get burned out on stars. You won't get burned out on seeing, the same, 3 or 4 matches every single week. I just think overall, I think it would be a great idea, from that aspect though. But, with Scarlett coming out and, going back and forth with the Usos for a very split second, I thought was good. Thought it was good.
And I agree with you. Kross is a special attraction, because his mystique is kind of like the Undertaker. Kinda. I do say kinda, where he's kind of the I don't want to say spooky supernatural type gimmick, but he's very much the kind of old school quintessential, I guess, like horror movie villain. So you wanna save that mystique, like him and not Walter, but Gunther. I'm sorry. Him and Gunther are, they're special, attractions, and if you saw them wrestle on every single show, it would kind of take away that mystique a little bit. Like, it's one of those things of just like, it's good to see you, but it's kind of like Jim Cornette says, how am I supposed to miss you if you're never gone? So
exactly.
So and we'll get to Gunther in a little bit. But this segment was great, and I have the quote right here. He says, "Tell your boy Karrion Kross that if he steps up to the Tribal Chief, the Bloodline will put his ass down." End quote. That's what Jey Uso said. Main event, Jey Uso. Next is the Viking Raiders beat down Kofi Kingston. Bleh. After which, Hit Row makes their return. Ashanti the Adonis, AJ, Top Dollar, I'm sorry, and B-Fab. They made their return to the company after there are already rumors of them being backstage at SmackDown, and they beat a couple jobbers, And when I heard their music, I went, oh shit, they're back. Like, I wasn't like massively, happy or I don't want to say like not happy, but like I wasn't like, excited that they were back. It was just more of one of those things of just like, oh shit, no, he brought them back. Like that was more so my reaction. But what was your reaction to Hit Row making their return to WWE?
I'm a big mark for Hit Row.
Yeah.
Especially with Swerve when Swerve was there. But I'm I was more happy that they were able to get their jobs back.
Oh, cool.
Right. That's what I was mostly happy about is them. They were able to get their jobs back because they did not get a fair shake. Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, we already know. And if you guys were here last week, we already know I went on a tangent about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
About the difference between Vince McMahon and Triple H. But with this, though, I don't expect them to be like top guys. I don't expect them to be, multi-time tag team champions, right? But what I do expect, though, is for them to be utilized the correct way and for their vision to be played out. And being utilized the correct way doesn't mean that they have to be tag team champions. Utilized the right way is just for them to, win some matches here and there, get some title shots, you know what I mean? They may win the tag team title, right? But, I'm super happy, for all three of them. And, I've been hearing something, on Twitter, Twitter is Twitter, right? But I've been hearing things like, oh, it's not the same without Swerve and, without Swerve, they're gonna fail. And, I seen it on Twitter. Well, that's not fair to them. That's not fair to them, you know what I mean?
Right.
To AJ Francis, to, Ashante Adonis and to BFAB, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Triple H, if he's bringing these guys back, that means he has a plan for them, right? Now, plan doesn't necessarily mean, again, tag team champions, right? Like, you can still be a great tag team and not win the tag team titles, right? You know what I mean? Look
Right.
at the Rockers, right? Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. They never won the tag team titles in WWE, right?
Technically, they did, but they had to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not canon though.
All right. It's not canon, damn it. All right. Yeah.
It's not canon though. Yes, they beat the Hart Foundation. Yeah, we if you know the story, you know the story. But okay, well, Crying Time, right? They never won the tag team titles, and they're known as I won't say known as a great tag team, but they're known as a popular tag team back in the Ruthless Aggression era. So. Great promos, great skits, and all that stuff. I can see that for Hit Row. If done properly. That'll be utilized properly. They don't have to win the tag team titles to be utilized properly at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, like, I was kind of like a little befuddled about it because I'm like, how are they going to make this work without Swerve? Because Swerve was, he was the leader of the group, and obviously he's, unavailable because he's with another company. But yeah, I mean, I guess give it time, because
I definitely see Triple H. If he brought these guys back, he's gonna have a new not mouthpiece for him, but there's gonna be a third person gonna get with the group. Could that be Carmelo Hayes? That may be months down the line, but that's the first person I'm thinking of that can fit well with Hit Row.
I think that'd be interesting, and also you throw in Trick Williams, cause,
right? Exactly.
I mean, because Trick in the ring is not great. I mean, but he's a good mouthpiece, and he's kind of grown. He's kind of grown on me more as a performer rather than a wrestler. And I've done a 180 on Carmelo Hayes, over the past year. So I think that'd be a good addition. That'd make the group a lot more interesting. So moving on, we have a segment. We have a contract signing with Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. Before that happened, Ronda Rousey made her comeback to the company. She was in the crowd. She came out through the crowd. And this is what I like about the Triple H era, is that the camera work makes it look like it's more so like gradually happening rather than just like the spotlight is focused on her. It's like, wait, Ronda Rousey is here, but she's supposed to be suspended. It's like, no, they make it look like she literally just hopped the rail. And like for a second, I didn't realize that was her. Like I'm like, wait, who's that? Is that Dexter? Oh no, that's Ronda Rousey. So she hops the rail and she has a giant bag, which ends up being a giant bag full of money. And she's like, there's my fine. So it won't be the last time I have to pay this shit. And I'm like, okay, this is the Ronda Rousey that we've been waiting to see. Not the, happy-go-lucky, smiley Ronda Rousey. We want that bitch. It's like Jade Cargill calls herself that bitch show. That's Ronda Rousey. We want Ronda Rousey to be that bitch. And she was great in it. And like the security came out and had to escort her out. Here's what I found interesting about this segment is when she's walking back, Shayna goes up to her and says, what are you doing? That's not how you do it. You have to play by the rules. And Ronda goes, you used to be a killer. And she walks away, which I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I had a similar idea, but the rules were reversed. Like, I was more under the guise of Shayna was going to be the one that awakens that, that killer back in Ronda, where she tells her, what happened? You used to be the coldest bitch I used to know. Now you're smiling and kissing babies? Like, this isn't you. This isn't Ronda. And that's what awakens, the heel Ronda, the killer Ronda. So the fact that they switched the roles, I'm like, that's interesting. And I'm not even mad at it that they switched roles. I liked it. So, because I like Shayna. I like Shayna in NXT. I like NXT Shayna, and now she's getting a push. So good. So she comes out, and then Liv comes out, and they get into a brawl. And I like the segment until the end. Shayna beats the shit out of Liv and starts working the arm. And Liv somehow manages to counter all that into a bulldog, which I'm just like, like that was my reaction, like, And I don't know how you feel, but to me it's just like, okay, now is the time to get the title off of Liv. Like, she's just the Liv Morgan experiment it's become a complete failure because she can't really emote because she's always crying. Let me retract that statement. She does emote because she always cries. She cries when she comes to the ring. She cries when she wins a match. She cried when she broke her remember, she didn't cry when she broke her shoulder. And then she's crying in this whole, like, her in that whole segment when Shayna was fucking with her arm and she's like going, and she's making all those fucking noises. Like, it reminds me, it sounds like when my cats are fighting. And I'm not even saying that to be a dick, like, or maybe I am, but, maybe half and half. But, like, it's just like, that's not a fucking women's champion. Like, this isn't my women's champion. So, I'm hoping at Clash of the Castle, Shayna gets that belt off of fucking Liv and we get a Shayna and Ronda feud. Like, something that we've been wanting, something I've been wanting for a while is to have Shayna and Ronda do a program. So, I don't know. What did you think about the segment? What do you think about the upcoming match?
Yeah, so overall, I mean, I thought the segment did what it needed to do, right? I'm with you on the ending, and it was kind of questionable, right? But really just the interaction between Ronda and Shayna is kind of planting the seed for a potential feud, right? So, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know if you heard, right? And this is just a rumor right now, but currently the rumor is that they want to turn Liv Morgan heel and keep Ronda as a face. The original rumor was to turn Ronda heel. So, with what she did at SummerSlam. So, at the end of the day, I mean, to me, I don't really think it's going to really play any merit on anything, because if you turn Ronda heel and Shayna wins, right? Who's the face? Who's the heel in that feud, right? But if you keep Ronda face, and and let's say Shayna still wins the title, right? Then okay, you have your clear face, you have your clear heel at that particular point in time, and I know that they probably talk to each other. They're best friends, right? So I'm pretty sure they talked about each other, like, oh yeah, we've got a program for the title, and this, that, and the other. I'm pretty sure they've been talking about that for for a while now, for years maybe, right? If that were to happen. So at the end of the day, I mean, I like Liv Morgan, right? This title reign is not really doing it for me. And it's not really her fault at the end of the day. I think it was the initial way when she won, was okay. But I think what kind of hurt her was, at SummerSlam, the way that, she tapped out, but she pinned Ronda, but she tapped out first. I think if they would have timed that better to where that she taps out as soon as the 3 count happens, okay, it's not as, it's more for debate at that point versus just like, okay, Liv clearly tapped out before pinning Ronda. Okay, that makes your champion look like a loser, makes him look weak, right? And really, it was just the hand that was dealt to Triple H and his team, because remember, that was the first event for Triple H, and he just tried to do his very best to try to keep the title on Ronda. So that was probably a little bit of a misstep on that side. They probably could have timed that a little bit better. But at the end of the day, though, I think we're gonna get Ronda. I think we're gonna get Shayna for the women's championship, right? Which should be a fun feud, right? And if you do that, please let them go out there and just for the first 2 or 3 minutes of, maybe 2 or 3 minutes actually do an MMA type of deal, right? And make it believable, then turn into a wrestling match. I think that'll be a very unique and not necessarily innovative, but a very unique way for a WWE match to come off and for a world title match to have for the women.
Because you mentioned have them have an MMA type match. I just thought of something. The Lion's Den thing that they were doing in NXT.
Oh yeah.
Definitely do that. That'd be so fucking dope.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I think that's too soon for the main roster. I mean, I would love to see it, but I think it'll be too soon for the casuals of the main roster. They're probably casual fans. They're not gonna get it or understand what is this about? I thought I was watching wrestling, not
Fight
UFC.
Pit. There you go. That's what it's called.
Yeah, Fight Pit. There you go.
Well, I mean, don't you think that would actually draw more viewers though? Because you would have the UFC fans go, okay, here's Ronda Rousey, former UFC women's champion, and then here's Shayna Baszler. I don't really know Shayna's. I mean, I obviously know she.
Too, yeah.
I mean, I obviously know she was in MMA UFC, but I don't know her background. I don't know her her history or anything. But I don't know. I would think that would bring in more viewers, because they would see that and go, that looks fucking cool. That's better than the wrestling I used to. I
agree. I agree. I don't think that it would do anything long-term wise, though. I can see the MMA guys look at it and they're okay, and like I said, if they start the match actually doing some MMA sparring, that'll be awesome to see, right? Yeah, I mean, but I think that it's just something tells me it won't I don't think it will keep fans over long term. Right. Maybe once I would say, let's say a year from now, right? They revisit this feud, or let's say they do maybe Riddle versus Brock Lesnar, a Fight Pit. That'd be pretty cool to see. You know what I mean? Riddle versus Brock Lesnar, or Riddle versus Bobby Lashley, or Lashley versus Lesnar in the Fight Pit, right? I think maybe a year from now, once the casual WWE fans who weren't really exposed to NXT, they didn't watch Black and Gold on the network, right? Every Wednesday, right? They don't get it, right? But I think once Triple H really puts his foothold on the creative, on this roster, and they are accepting more innovative things, then from there, I think it'd be more appropriate for a Fight Pit match. I may be wrong about that, but that's just the way that I would like to see that go down.
Right, and it's just and I've talked about this. I don't know how you feel, but kind of going a little off topic. But with Triple H in charge, it's just I'm hoping they get rid of gimmick pay-per-views, so that way Hell in a Cell can feel special again. TLC can feel special again. I mean, I guess keep Elimination Chamber, because that kind of merits its own pay-per-view. Keep Money in the Bank, but and at the same time, I kind of wish Money in the Bank was a Mania match again.
Right.
But just get rid of gimmick pay-per-views and just bring back Backlash, bring back Armageddon, Bring back the Great American Bash. Bring back No Mercy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, also, maybe you can scale back the pay-per-views and not have, so many pay-per-views a year. But, that's just me. Go ahead.
I think what the issue is with that. The gimmick pay-per-views, yes. I believe they could definitely change that. I definitely believe they could change that. But I just think the number of pay-per-views, I think they're so married to the TV deals and, with NBC, Universal, and Fox, and they're expecting bills to certain shows every year, and obviously as well, that's what the network's all about. At the end of the day is
right.
for the subscriptions, and if every month if we have a free you get WWE Network free for 1 month, and you'll get Survivor Series, or you'll get the Royal Rumble, or whatever the case may be. So that's really their selling point for the network, is to have a pay-per-view every single month, which I don't like, but at the end of the day, it's a business practice. Now, what they can do is that bring back another WWE Evolution, right? The all-women's pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe make Survivor Series into War Games, right?
Yes.
Instead of having War Games for NXT, right? Which is not needed for 2.0. NXT, the current iteration of NXT does not need a War Games. It just doesn't. But the current iteration of WWE, I believe in Triple H, 3 months, Survivor Series is in 3 months from now. I believe in 3 months' time, he will be able to build a Survivor Series type match. So I could definitely see that happening in the future. Maybe not this year, but definitely next year, because Triple H is a big old school mark when it comes to these matches here. But yeah, bring back it doesn't have to be Armageddon or Unforgiven. Mix it up a little bit. Halloween Havoc, I know that's an NXT thing, but bring it as a regular pay-per-view. Bash at the Beach, maybe. They just had Heat Wave last night, but maybe bring back Hardcore Heaven from ECW, right? Just mix it up a little bit and make it a little bit more, I guess, fun and nostalgic, and bring back some of the old fans.
Right, and also another idea. Starrcade. Since you own the rights, have Starrcade be a thing every December. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So let's move on to the next match. So the next match. So how this match begins, the Usos were talking to Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is trying to prove himself as being an honorary Uso. And while that's happening, Drew McIntyre attacks both the Usos and is looking for Sami. So how that match happens is the Usos come to the ring and tell Drew, go ahead and find yourself another partner, or come out here and get this work. Either way, you're going to get your ass whipped, pretty much. So Drew comes out, and for a little bit of the match, it's a handicap match, which I thought was pretty interesting. I'm like, all right, both the Usos versus Drew McIntyre was, again, I'm not trying to compare, but it was like back in the day when you had the Dudleys versus The Rock in a tables match, a main event caliber match. You had main event caliber stars. Fast forward years later, you had the Usos, who are arguably the best tag team in wrestling. And, coincidentally, they're using the Dudley Boys finishing move. And they're going against Drew, who's a main event caliber star. So I thought it'd be interesting, but then all of a sudden you hear Madcap Moss's theme play, which, I'll be honest, for a second I almost forgot about him. And I hate that I felt that way, because for a while it looked like they were trying to do something with him. But It looks like they're going back to doing something with him, which is good, because I like him. I just, again, change his name to Riddick. Madcap Moss is just a dumbass name. It was a dumbass gimmick. So yeah, he comes out and he teams with McIntyre, and McIntyre and Moss get the win. And after the match, McIntyre claymores Sami. And yeah, what'd you think about the match?
I mean, fun match overall. I like Riddick Moss, right? Madcap Moss, whatever. Yeah, they need to change his name, and I'm sure it's slowly but surely. Like we're only like a few weeks, like we're about to barely be done with the first month of this whole Triple H takeover change or whatnot, right? And there's been a lot of changes already, right? So so I'm expecting his name to change sometime down the road, or maybe they'll keep it at Madcap Moss. I don't know, right? But I'm expecting other name changes. You know what I mean? Like Angel Garza and Roberto Carrillo, they'll get their full names back, right? Riddle could be called Matt Riddle, right? Like I don't know why you just can't call the guy Matt Riddle. I mean, you know what I mean? But anyway, the match though, overall, I thought the match, it has purpose, and I thought it was pretty well overall.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a fun match. I'll just put it that. It was a fun match. And it served its purpose. So now we're at the main event. Intercontinental Championship match. You have Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Intercontinental Champion Gunther.
I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. And I don't know if we're going to talk about this, about what's going on in AEW. I just happened to see that next week they're gonna do the unification match for the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Moxley next week. Not at All Out.
Holy fuck! And I'm just now seeing that. Wow. So we have that to look forward to. Question mark.
Okay. All right, yeah. Carry on. I just have to throw that out there. Wow.
So next week, if you guys didn't hear it, next week the title unification match for the AEW title will not be at All Out. It'll be next week. It'll be Punk and Moxley. So there we go, folks. There we go, folks. So now we're at the main event. You have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised by how really fucking good this match was. And I know it's gonna make me sound like a dummy because, for one thing, we know how good Gunther is. And I think it's, I don't know, I think it's just we forgot how good Nakamura was. Because 2016 Nakamura in NXT, like that almost seemed like, that was his peak in WWE. When he made that, epic entrance at NXT TakeOver in Dallas. And I just remember watching, like when I watched that, I think I recorded it. And I just remember thinking, like, this is special. Like, this entrance is... They're making this guy seem like he's a big deal in NXT. Big entrance, big match. And that was... in maybe the last 10 years, that's probably one of the best matches I've ever seen. In my opinion. Hey, what's going on, girlie? It's my dog. She came in here. So... And then Nakamura, ever since he's been on the main roster for the past 5 years, it's just like... I don't know, it's maybe because they told him to wrestle a certain way, or maybe it's because he's clearly there for the paycheck, or maybe it's both. I don't know. Like, the Nakamura of the past 5 years has not been the same Nakamura from NXT in 2016. But maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm stretching, but this Nakamura that we saw on Friday night, that looks like Nakamura. That looks like 2016 Shinsuke to me. Like, the match is just really good, hard hitting. You had two guys that were in there just beating the crap out of each other, and this was a wrestling match. Like, this was wrestling, and I don't know. This is a match of the year candidate. Probably won't be my match of the year overall, but this is a match of the year candidate for me. But what'd you think about the match?
This is my match here. This is my type of wrestling. Like, 100%. Like, when WWE turns it on, and when they actually let their guys go, they will out AEW. I used to say this back in the day. Sometimes, the original NXT, right, back in 2015, 2016, I used to say that, dang man, this NXT is doing ROH better than ROH, right? Mm-hmm. So I can actually see, when given the opportunity, when they let their guys go in the ring, WWE can put on some of the best wrestling matches in the world. in the world if given the opportunity. Now, I'm not saying that this was like the best match I've ever seen or anything like that. What I am saying is that you see that capability that they can do that, right? So, great match, hard hitting, the chops, the spot where Nakamura just knees Gunther right in the face, and it was, oh man, it was great. Now, also with this too is, despite what people, and I say this about, I say this about Vince McMahon, right? Like, I don't like Vince McMahon. I thought he's out of touch or whatnot. Despite what people say, there was a reason why Vince McMahon had these guys wrestle a certain style, because they're on the road, every week. They're wrestling every week, right? And if you wrestle that certain style, you know what I mean, like they do in AEW, you're gonna see people end up getting hurt. That's why a lot of people are hurt in AEW right now, because they finally caught up to them. But in this particular case, if Triple H just goes like, okay, go out there and have a hard-hitting match, I'll give you guys off the next 2 weeks, you'll cut promos backstage, you guys won't actually be on the ring on TV. If they do that, then that's cool. But yeah, the match overall, awesome. One of the best matches this year, right? Not really my match of the year, but still one of the best matches this year, though, for sure.
All right, give me 1 second. I gotta let my dog out real quick, so just talk.
All right, sure. Well, on AEW Dynamite, take over Drew's podcast there. So yeah, Kenny Omega's back. So yeah, basically, you're looking at your trios tag team champions there, guys. You could be looking at Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks winning this trios tournament. It's either them or the House of Black, though. But yeah, man, it was pretty apparent that Omega was coming back. If you guys watch BT, I mean, I haven't watched in like a year or so, but just from the rumors out there, obviously, the band was getting back together, right? The Elite was getting back together, so. But yeah, good for Kenny, man. I hope he's in good health, and hope he's fine, and hopefully he doesn't kill himself like he usually does. Hope he decides to not necessarily change wrestling style though, but not go as hard as he needs to in the ring. So, but yeah, next week, guys, we have CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. But I was just gonna say, if Moxley and Punk is the world title match next week, if MJF doesn't come back, then I don't know what the hell AEW is doing. I don't understand what they're doing with this. It's very questionable for sure.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's basically kind of a telltale sign, is that if MJF doesn't come back, he's pretty much going to WWE. I mean, maybe that's the reason why they moved the match next week, is so we get MJF versus Punk at All In or All Out or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and another thing about that too is that not WWE, but AEW, they don't do like screwy finishes, right? They don't do like like disqualification, not much, right? Disqualifications, and there's a match. They haven't really done that, so. If it were to happen next week, I understand, but if they're just doing just the popper rating and just have the rematch at All Out, that is a very not so good sign for me to see.
Yeah. All right, so we're done with SmackDown, we're done with SmackDown. Now we're going to move to Raw. Let's see, Raw. The opening segment. Was Judgment Day coming out talking a little bit of shit and just hyping the match with Damian Priest and Edge next week in Toronto. And Ray came out and fought off Judgment Day, but Rhea basically playing up the fact like I'm a woman, you're not going to hit me, Ray. So eventually we're going to get maybe Ray doing a 619 on Rhea. Or, I don't know. We'll see something happen with Rhea. But I thought it was a good promo by Judgment Day. Like, this is probably the most... That was probably the most I liked them. And so far, this is probably the most I've liked them because Rhea is so much better as a heel. And I like the fact that she's self-aware of people want her to be a dominatrix of some sort, and she's like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm gonna do it. And that almost seems like that's where they're gonna go with her and Dom. Maybe not to that extent, but probably. And then Finn I think is better as a heel. I mean, it looked like he was kind of getting a little stale ever since he got brought back to the main roster. But him I like. I mean, I like Damian Priest. So I like this group so far, especially under the Triple H era. But what was your opinion on the opening segment? Yellow.
Oh, me and myself, my bad. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I think Judgment Day, they definitely turn a corner. Triple H is just letting these guys go out there and just talk right, and you know what I mean? I really like the fact that they are coming into their own at the end of the day, so... But, yeah, I mean, they're building up this group right, what's Dominic gonna do, right? He's clearly in line for a heel turn. I know we talked about that last week too as well. So, just want to see where this storyline continues here. So hopefully, it all goes well for them. You know what I mean? I'm really glad that it's started to go on their own with this.
Yeah, exactly. And then, after that, we have the first match of the night. Asuka and Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop. Asuka and Alexa Bliss win, which we all figured. I mean, it was okay. Like it was fine for what it was, even though you kind of knew who was going to win. They move on to face Dakota Kai and Io Sky next week. What'd you think about the match?
Best match of the tournament so far, right? Not saying much, but I thought it was the best match of the tournament so far. I can't wait for next week. I can't wait for next week. You know what I mean? Because that's oh man, that's gonna be good. Asuka and Io in the ring at the same time. God,
yeah, yes.
It's not even just that. Oh god, like Io. You saw Io on Monday? Oh my god, Jesus,
dude, that's
beautiful.
The place are gonna go like Pat Patterson used to say. The place is gonna go banana. The audience will go banana. Banana, baby. Next is...
But yeah, I think it's going to be great next week.
Yeah, agreed. And next is another tag match. Playa. The Miz and Ciampa versus Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. Before that, there was an interview segment where The Miz actually gives him, I guess, his own kind of Pokemon card. I don't know why I'm saying man, but Pokemon card of.
Who are you?
I'm 33 years old. Yeah, The Miz. It's a picture of The Miz and Ciampa, in I guess a card, and he gives one to Ciampa, and Ciampa goes, "That's awesome." Miz goes, "No, we're awesome." So I thought that was kind of funny, but I like these two. I like Miz and Ciampa together. They seem to work together. But this match was, I mean, it was a fun tag match. I thought it was interesting seeing Ali and Cedric as a team. It's good to. It's again the Triple H era. Like he's making tag teams mean something. He's not just saying, we're gonna put you two guys together because Creative's got nothing for you. Like it's more so like we're putting people together that are meant to be together, or not in a romantic way, but more so in like we're putting people together that actually gel well together. And Ali and Cedric, I think are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like really good friends outside of the ring, and they seem to gel well as a tag team. And I thought this was a fun match. Ciampa and Miz getting the win as they should. But what was your opinion?
Loved it. Love tag team wrestling. Love cruiserweight wrestling as well, and the fact that Mustafa and Cedric are together. If if I was on your show 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, whenever they had their feud going into WrestleMania, I would have been like your resident, cruiserweight guy, right? Because I always love cruiserweight wrestling, and the fact that they're together is fantastic, right? They are gonna be a good tag team, right? I see them like Hit Row. I don't see them, being tag team champions, but they can just be there to put on some great matches, right? And really come onto their own, man. That's all I really need them there for at the end of the day. Great spot at the end of the match with Mustafa Ali's going for a 450 into a sliding knee by Ciampa, and and they end up picking up the win, Ciampa and The Miz. So The Miz and Ciampa together, pretty cool. Obviously, I kind of see them, when they do break up, I kind of see them, breaking up and with the whole Pokemon card and, with the picture of them together. It's just kind of like a tie-in. Whenever they break up, they're probably gonna use that card as, during the breakup or something. I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day though, it served its purpose.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Next is, it was a promo that turned into a match, and a really fucking good match. A really fucking good promo. So, Drew McIntyre made an appearance on Raw to just hype up the match, with him and Roman. Not a mention of Cross, which I thought was interesting. And, comes out, cuts a nice promo. I've always been a Drew McIntyre supporter. I supported him during his run during the COVID era because, I always tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, which is the guy was getting over, the guy was getting some momentum, won the Royal Rumble, main event in Mania against Brock. And it's just, I always say it was like it was like watching The Twilight Zone, where it's like, imagine achieving your dreams, and then nobody's there to watch it. That's basically what, Drew's title run was, was during the COVID era, and, to his credit, he did the best job he could during that era. Because Roman was gone for a bit, and again, there are no fans. So, I always supported Drew, and I was always thought, what would happen if you were able to have this Drew in front of a crowd? So, now that, Vince is gone, now that you have Triple H running the show, now you have Stephanie, and just, different people running the show, and Triple H, from what I know, Triple H tells people, when cutting promos, just do bullet points. Don't memorize a script. Just go out there and just talk about what you're going to talk about, and just get to the ending. Everything is all you, but the ending is the only thing that's scripted. Same thing with matches. So, Drew, under the Triple H era, he seems like he's more comfortable talking. And not that, I don't want to say that he was uncomfortable talking, but just they tried to make him into Cena, which I don't understand why they try to make big guys seem like Cena. Where, they try to do it with Roman, they try to do it with Sheamus, they did it with Drew, and it's just only Cena can.
A little bit too, yeah.
Yeah, only Cena can be Cena. Stop trying to make everybody Cena. So, Drew, when he's just speaking from the heart, it works. So, and then he goes on to say, when I become champion, I'm gonna face, blah blah blah. I'm gonna face whoever. And then Kevin Owens comes out, and he's like, I couldn't help but notice that you didn't mention me. And he's like, well, I was actually about to mention you anyway. And they just go on to have a really good fucking segment where, Kevin Owens goes, I think he went 5 years ago in this arena, me and Sami Zayn had one of the best matches of all time. I want to get back to that Kevin Owens. I want to get back to the prize fighter. And I've realized that I've lost sight of something. So, again, like I mentioned with the Shayna and Ronda thing, somebody's listening to the show. Where I remember telling RJ this of the best way you can make him faces again is you can have Kevin Owens be I just main evented WrestleMania against Stone Cold Steve Austin in his first match since 2003, and then for some reason I was losing my shit over if Elias or if Ezekiel was really Elias or not. So I need to get back and focus on what's more important. And that's becoming a world champion. That's becoming the best, I can be. The prize fighter, Kevin Owens. So I thought that was interesting that they did that. Again, I don't want to give myself credit, but I'm going to give myself credit. No, I'm playing.
I got to.
But he comes out and talks to Drew, and then Drew, oh my God, why am I forgetting the promo? Where Drew, says like, big whoop, I got fired. I got called the chosen one, he said 2007, but it was 2009. I got called the chosen one by Vince McMahon. And what'd that get me? Nothing. I got released. I didn't call them, they called me. And then I came back and I beat Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania. So, and then he says, we're wrestlers in a wrestling ring, so let's wrestle. And it's like, whew, wrestling? In a wrestling ring? And they're wrestling? Jesus Christ, Justin, what's going on?
I mean, and, if there was any question that Vince McMahon was running things behind the scenes and, and I can get why people are like, oh, Vince, he may still be running things behind the scenes. That's gone away. Vince would have had an aneurysm if he was there live at Raw. I think he would have personally ran out to the ring himself and really caused a scene on national TV live.
It'd be like Royal Rumble 05 when he tore both of his quads.
Yeah. He'll tear his quads again, right? Just tear your quads. Go for it. But I thought it was I thought it was a damn good promo segment, right? One of the best promos of the year in WWE. AEW, despite what people think, I mean, when they got some good promos and actually there was a good promo tonight between Punk and Moxley. I thought that was a pretty damn good promo tonight as well. But one of the best promos of the year, definitely so. And you could tell that Kevin Owens, man, he's almost like, I won't say he's his Ring of Honor self, man, but he is about as close as his NXT self as he has been, right? And Drew McIntyre, to your point. He's been let more loose with Triple H at the helm as well. So, but at the end of the day, their match was great too. Fantastic match, right? Understand why it had to end it the way it needed to end at the end of the day with the Usos, coming out. But yeah, no. But overall, I thought the segment, the match, everything was great. Great entertainment.
You know what the best part of the match is? And not just the whole match itself, because the match was really fucking good. And to my knowledge, I think this is the only time these two have actually wrestled against each other. I was mad when the Usos came out. Like, that's how much I enjoyed the match, was when the Usos came out. I was like, come on! Like, you couldn't just let these guys
I think that was the point of it. I think the point of it was, like, obviously to protect both, right? But with the Usos coming out, I think, like, as legit fans, that was the reaction that Triple H wanted us to have, was to be mad because a winner was not decided. I don't think we were mad because, like, oh man, this is lazy booking, and like, oh man. I think we were mad because we were enjoying the match so much and that we wanted to see a legit winner. So I think he did his job. I think it really did his job overall.
Right, and then after the match, Kevin Owens, or after the Usos, beat up Drew, Kevin Owens yells at the Usos, tell your boss he owes me one, or he owes me one. So, interesting.
Do you know what that could be leaning towards?
If I had to guess, because me and RJ talked about this, I think it's going to lead towards him and Sammy, being a team, and Sammy turning face, and maybe even getting a haircut, and going back to 2016 Sami Zayn from NXT.
There you go.
Fuck,
Mundo.
I want that. And also, fuck, you can have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens take the titles off the Usos.
Well, yep, there you go.
Next is Veer squashing a local talent, Bo Keller. I don't know if you know who that is, but I was a little surprised on how much offense he was giving this guy, because I was like, wait, is this going to be like an Ellsworth thing where he wins by like a fuck finish or something? But no, he just, he was just giving the guy a lot of offense. So Veer wins. Thoughts?
I mean, I like it. I know some people don't really like jobbers getting some offense. Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! I'm sorry. I have dynamite on, and oh my god, that spot was something else. Anyway, I thought the match did what it needed to do with Veer and the jobber, but sometimes the jobber needs offense. Sometimes the jobber needs offense. Don't make it too predictable when it comes to things like that, right? Give the jobber a little bit of offense, you know what I mean, and make the match actually seem like a match and not just like a pure squash match. So, but you know what I mean, like he didn't need to have that much offense, but maybe drop kick here and there, and you know what I mean? And, just let Veer destroy him, and which pretty much what happened. But, but yeah, overall, it did what it needed to do.
I mean, you're not wrong because, jobbers of the past. I mean, that's how we got Jeff, the Hardy Boys. That's how Jeff Hardy became a star, because Scott Hall went out of his way to make him a star. And he did the same thing for Waltman. He did the same thing for Jericho. So, there you go. Next is a United States Championship match. Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles. To my knowledge, the first time these two have ever wrestled. I mean, maybe in a WWE ring, but again, this match delivered because you can't go wrong with AJ. I mean, I love AJ. AJ to me he's that modern day Shawn Michaels in a sense where he can make anyone look like a star. He can make any match good. I mean, the worst match I've seen AJ had was just okay. I mean, I've never seen AJ have a bad match. And, Bobby, you got Bobby Lashley, who's the hottest he's ever been as far as like in-ring work, and he's over like a motherfucker. And then you put him in the ring with a guy like AJ, like where can you go wrong? So, I like this match. One thing I'm liking about these matches lately on Raw is just it almost seems like they can go both ways, because like I thought maybe they would give AJ the title for a second, just by how the match was going, but no. I mean, it was really good match. During the match, Miz and Ciampa came out, which I kind of got annoyed by. I'm like, oh, come on, don't. Like, it didn't give me the same feeling as like the Usos, where I'm like, come on, let those guys finish. This was more just like, okay, maybe not have 2 disqualifications. Like, that would just be overkill. But no, it was interesting because the ref threw them out. And then during the match, we got another reappearance by Dexter Lumis, where he came out during the crowd. And again, they just subtle things. Like, he came out, and then the security's trying to get him out, and then Corey Graves is just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this guy? And they have to carry him out, to the back. They get back from commercial break, and Byron Saxton mentions his name, but then Corey goes, don't even mention his name. Don't give him any attention, which I thought was good. So then they continue the match, and AJ goes for a phenomenal forearm. Lashley ducks, and then Lashley goes for a spear. 1, 2, 3. So Lashley is still your United States champion. What you think about the match?
Fantastic match, man. And this is what it needs to do for, for the mid-card division in WWE on Raw. It does what it needs to do. And it's fantastic. With Dexter Lumis coming out, I thought, again, the subtleties and all that, I thought, it was a great job on WWE's end, not giving much attention, right? Dexter Lumis now being a little bit more animated coming out there. Is he going for AJ Styles? Most likely, right? But is he, maybe going for the Miz or Ciampa? Who knows, right? So the fact that they're doing this, and that they are, they're doing this, and the fact that also on top of that too as well, that they're still having those little subtleties backstage, kind of building up to his reveal. I don't know if you saw, but did you see, I think it was when Theory and Ziggler was was fighting each other backstage. Did you see the hand backstage?
Yeah.
In the window?
Yes, I was actually pointing that out because I remember I'm looking in the back. I'm thinking, okay, I need to see something. Like there's got to be something I have to notice. And then right when they're fighting, I just see this random hand in the back, and I'm like, I even put on Twitter. I'm like, did anyone else notice that hand, or was it just me? And
right,
yeah, yeah, and everybody else was like, nope, I saw it too.
Yeah, so now the question is, was that Loomis or was that someone else? I'll let you guys speculate who that could be, right? You know what I mean? But that is the beauty of Triple H's production, because we never got an answer to that. We don't know if Dexter Loomis actually set the that trash can on fire backstage as well. Because when Drew McIntyre was coming out to the ring, he kind of looked to his right, and he saw saw a smoking trash can on fire. Was that Dexter Loomis or was that someone else? I don't know. But the match overall, fantastic match. Just great stuff. Great wrestling that WWE's been putting on lately.
Right, and it's just Bobby Lashley having 2 back-to-back, A plus matches. I mean, granted,
he needs a long title reign with his U.S. title, because that's what's gonna give it back. That's definitely gonna give that title back prestige.
I mean, granted, look who's in the ring with. He's in the ring with Ciampa. He's in the ring with AJ Styles. But again, we're going back to what I said about Lashley. Lashley's no slouch. I mean, the guy. This is the best I've ever seen him, as far as in the ring, because I've always been a Bobby Lashley supporter. Give me 1 second. I gotta unlock the door real quick.
All right. Well, while Drew's doing that, what do you guys thought about Dynamite tonight? If you guys fully watched Dynamite, I don't know if you guys saw the ending there, with Dragon Lee getting unmasked, and that kind of looked like a botch there. But Dynamite was a Dynamite tonight. So 100%, just a Dynamite. Nothing bad, nothing great. Just from what I was seeing here, as we've been talking here so far. So, all right. There you go. I covered for you as long as I could.
All right, I forgot I locked the top lock on our front door, and the fiance and the sister were outside. So,
no worries.
But anyways, like I was saying about Bobby, Bobby, this is the best he's ever been in the ring, and he's over like a motherfucker, and the fans love him. Him on the mic is it could be improved, but I love Bobby. He's really good. I've always been a Bobby Lashley supporter, even back in the day when he first debuted in WWE. I always knew he wasn't that great in the ring, but I'm like, there's something to him. He just needs to get better. He needs the right opponent. Now he's gotten better, and now he's got the right opponents to get in the ring with to have better matches. So, yeah. See, there you go. And not for nothing, and if we're making a most improved list, Bobby Lashley is on that list. If we're talking about most improved wrestler, I would probably pick Lashley, because he's improved a lot. Next is Dana Brooke versus Dakota Kai singles match. Dakota gets the win. They are really just wanting to just get rid of that 24/7 title, aren't they?
Oh yeah, this is trash. In a botch. Get her off my TV. I never really liked her, so I mean, as a wrestler, I never really liked her. Her promo work, like I could go on a tangent, Dana Brooke, look at me, muscle kiss, strong, other arm kiss, strong. I hate her.
And then her promo against Dakota, where she's like, "I'm not afraid of you."
Terrible.
It's like, Jesus. Right. So, yeah, the talk is that Triple H wants to get rid of that 24/7 title, but USA wants to keep it.
Maybe get rid of Dana too in the process.
Yeah, right. Now we're at the main event, which I'm surprised this was the main event, not the U.S. title match. So you have Austin Theory versus Dolph Ziggler. This was set. Well, this was technically set up, over the past month. And then it kind of culminated tonight with a promo backstage when we were kind of mentioning where, Dolph comes out and says, "I see myself in you," blah blah blah, and Austin Theory, says, "You used to be me, but then you fizzled out because you ruined your own career. Now you're a nobody. You're a has-been." And they get into a fight backstage, which I'm just like, oh, cool. And it wasn't like that sports entertainment, Vince McMahon type of fight where it's just like they're fighting for 10 minutes until somebody breaks them up. No, they're fighting and right away people are trying to break it up. And what I thought was cool was that one of them bumped into the camera and that's how you went to commercial break, which I'm like, all right, that's subtlety. I'm a sucker for detail. Sure. Yeah. So and then it continues, and like we mentioned, you saw that hand in the back, which we're like, who was that? Could that have been Dexter? Could have been somebody else. And they set up this match, which again, I'm surprised this was the main event. I thought the match was good. I mean, Dolph can still go. I mean, the guy's. I think someone said he's 42, which.
I wrestle like that.
I mean, God willing. If I can look like that at 42, I mean, fuck, I want to look like that now at 33. The guy can still go. Say what you want about him, the guy can still go. The guy can still bump like a motherfucker. Theory is the guy. He's the guy that they're trying to push. And again, I thought the match was good. I didn't think it was great. I don't think it should have main evented, in my opinion, because the crowd seemed like they were kind of like, should we like this or should we not? Because Dolph's kind of been treated like a joke for the past decade, but I thought it was all right. It was good. It wasn't terrible. It was just okay. Probably shouldn't have main evented, but what you think about the match?
Well, I think I have an answer on why it main evented because on Monday the series finale of Better Call Saul was going on. So I think WWE, they wanted to put Lashley and AJ at the top of the third hour, right? So that way that they could try to keep and retain a lot of viewers, and it ended up doing well for them because today, I learned that Raw was number one in the demo. Number one in the demo this past Monday. Yeah, in the demo. So they're number one in this past Monday. So I mean, I'm not saying that's what it was for sure, but just me kind of and I've been watching wrestling, since freaking 1992, and I've been watching Monday Night Wrestling since 1993. You know what I mean? So I kind of understand where that may have came from. I don't know if that was the case, but I think that's what it was. But overall, I thought the match was fine. Again, should it may have been it? I personally don't think it should have main evented, but I know why it may have been. I have a feeling why it main evented, because of the whole Better Call Saul series finale, and a lot of people are watching that too as well. But it gets Stereo win, right? His very first win as Mr. Money in the Bank, because he didn't win a singles match as Mr. Money in the Bank as of yet. So good for him. And and we'll see where this goes from here going forward.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong about that, because I remember there was a pay-per-view. Actually, I remember it was No Mercy, and they put. I think that was the same night the election, or no,
right.
Was it not election?
It was the debate. It was the debate.
Yeah, it was the debate. It was on the same night as the pay-per-view, so they decided to put the championship match on first. And that was that pay-per-view where fucking Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, main event.
Oh yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, see? It all comes back to No Mercy.
Yeah.
So that was Raw. Again, Raw was good. It was entertaining. SmackDown was entertaining. Now we get to last night, NXT Heatwave. Did you watch NXT Heatwave?
I sure did.
All right. I missed probably... Let me look at this. I think I missed a few I think I might have missed the first half because I had to stop at HEB for a few things. And
good old HEB.
I am missing a few matches on this page. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Bear with me.
Sure.
Oh, come on. This piece of garbage. Come on. Come on. This thing being serious right now.
You cannot be serious.
You cannot be serious, guys. Okay, now I gotta go to a different page. Hold on, let me pull up a different page for the matches. Okay, here we go. Let's see which matches I missed. So I missed the first match, which was Carmelo Hayes versus Giovanni Vinci for the North American Championship. Melo got the win, surprising. Or not surprising, but yeah. You watched it, so what did you think about the match?
Oh man, best match of the night. They're fantastic. Not say it was like a classic match or anything, but God, man, it was such a great TV match, man. I always been a fan of Fabian Eichner, Giovanni Vinci, man. He is so good in the ring. Like I was kind of salty a little bit that Imperium got broken up. Man, like, if anybody that deserves a singles push from that group, other than Walter, obviously, is Giovanni Vinci, man. And he's gonna be a future NXT North American champion. He's probably gonna be a future NXT champion. He is that good. He has the look. He can wrestle. Promo ability could be better, right? But man, he's so damn good in the ring. Carmelo's so damn good in the ring. He's one of my favorites in NXT as well, man. And, and for the people who don't watch a lot of NXT 2.0, like, again, if you're watching it and expecting black and gold, you're watching it for the wrong reasons. You gotta watch it with a different, pair of glasses on per se. But man, that opening match was very good. Kind of screwed you a little bit with Trick Williams being there, interfering and all that stuff. But I think that the way that the match, not necessarily where the match ended, but I just think I have a feeling that they may have a rematch sometime down the line between these two for the North American Championship. Very good match.
Now I seem like an asshole because I didn't see the match, and
it was very good.
Like the way you're making it sound like a really good match. Like because I like Hayes. I mean, because I mentioned before I've done a 180 on Hayes. Vinci, to be honest, I haven't seen him wrestle all that much, but I've heard good things about him. So. And I'm like you. I kind of wish they didn't break him up. Him and Ludwig.
Imperium.
I kind of wish they kept that as a tandem. I mean, because fuck that would have gotten over on the main roster. Just those two big, motherfuckers. So, next is the match I did walk in on, but like on the last few minutes of, is Cora Jade versus Roxanne Perez. I walked in on maybe like the last 4 minutes, and this is when Perez gets the, I guess, is it a baseball bat or a crowbar that Cora has?
A stick.
Cora's stick. We'll just say Cora's stick. So she grabs Cora's stick. Oh, it's a Singapore cane. There you go. Thanks, Maurice. And
okay.
She's about to hit her, and then she decides, I can't do that because I don't want to be dirty like Cora. And while she's putting it away, Cora hits her from the back, and then does a DDT on the Singapore cane, gets the win. Yeah. So, what did you think about the match overall?
They made Roxy, and I just call her Roxy. So with it, Roxy, they made her look stupid. I hate the babyface syndrome of dumb babyface making a dumb babyface decision in the match, turn her back to Cora. Like what do you expect what was gonna happen? Anyway, match was okay, it was fine. But man, I'm just over the whole dumb babyface trope. Like shouldn't the babyface be smarter than the heel? Instead of the heel being smarter than the babyface, but I really like Roxy. I like Cora too as well. Roxy, she's a damn good wrestler for her age. Promos suck though. Everything else about her is not great. She has a great look. She has a great look. Great presentation. But her promo ability it really needs work. Cora, she won here, freshly heel turn here. she's dating Braun Breaker. That maybe that had a little bit of influence as well. Who knows? But good for Cora. Good for Cora. At least she's not turning heel and just losing all the way automatically. But I just hope this feud's done. I don't think it is, obviously. But I'm not. I don't really have a desire to see another match between these two.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't really have a desire to watch Cora, but that's another story. But it's funny. Like I was thinking the same thing when I saw that ending. I'm like, that kind of makes Roxy look like an idiot. Am I the only one that thinks that? Because it makes sense for her to be like, you know what? I'm not going to stoop to Cora's level. It would have made more sense if she just, threw the Singapore cane out of the ring instead of just turning her back on the fucking heel. But no, stupid. Cora hits her in the back and does a DDT on the cane. So I don't know. I'm with you. It was a dumb move by Roxy. It made her look bad. And I like Roxy. It's funny because both her and Cora are the same age, and they both kind of have the same background. But Roxy is 1,000 times better, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. The ring, yeah.
They really love themselves some Cora Jade. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Cora Jade fans out there, but I'm not one of them. I don't think she's very good in the ring. I don't think she's very good on the mic. She when I hear her talk, it sounds like an eighth grader giving a monologue in a school play. It doesn't work. And you just brought up, her dating Braun. Maybe that has something to do with why she's so heavily favored on the card. And then Eddie's saying she's cute. She's not. I'm not gonna say her and say she's ugly because she's not. But just.
I mean, she's. I think she's gonna be one of those. One of those girls. You know what I mean? That's gonna end up looking better over time. You know what I mean? So, and I don't like to talk about women like that. Objectifying women like that. But I'm just saying that she's very well. She's 21, 22. You know what I mean? She's I don't think she hit her prime yet. You know what I mean? I haven't hit my prime yet, and I look fantastic. But
you still look the same. You still look the same since you did when I last saw you in high school. It's what the fuck? How do you look the same and I don't? No.
Black don't crack. There you go.
But black don't crack. But yeah, moving on to the next match, you have Santos Escobar versus Tony D'Angelo with an all or nothing street fight. Santos loses. He is banned from NXT. He wins. He is free from Tony D'Angelo. I thought this was a fun match. This was what it needed to be. It was just two guys who don't like each other, and they're just beating the fuck out of each other. And I don't know how you felt about the ending, where it was kind of similar to Cora and Roxanne, where they made the babyface look like an idiot, and that being Santos, where there was a part in the match where Santos accidentally knocks down, or I forgot if he knocked her down accidentally or hit her accidentally. He hit Elektra Lopez, and I thought it was kind of funny how Tony's just looking at her and he just goes, better you than me. And then Santos, of course he gets pissed off because that's his girl. Well, not his girl, but his friend. And he just, goes after Tony. And there was a bit in the match where they both are looking at the crowbar, and they're both racing to get the crowbar. And, Tony ends up getting it, and Santos doesn't. And Santos realizes he doesn't have the crowbar, but still decides to go after Tony. And Tony ends up hitting him in the crowbar and gets the win. I don't know, just... In my opinion, that kind of made Santos look stupid, because it's just if he knew Tony had the crowbar, why did he go after him head on instead of countering the crowbar? That's just me. But what do you think about the match?
I think you're kind of confusing the ending, because there's brass knucks in the ring and the crowbar, and Tony D'Angelo went after the crowbar, and Santos went after the brass knucks. They both grabbed it, but Tony D just happened to hit him with the crowbar first to pick up the win. The match, though, fun match. I'm a huge. I'm a huge fan of both these guys, but I'm a huge fan of Santos Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
Very huge fan. And I'm glad he lost. I'm so glad he lost. He's gonna be on the main roster. He's gonna be a star. It's gonna be great. Like, God, just get him on SmackDown. Just like have him just like wrestle, Gunther. You know what I mean? Like, have him be the next, be the next Eddie Guerrero. I know he's like 37, 38 years old, but who cares? Yeah, he's in great shape, man. Like, I wish Legado will go up to the main roster with them, man. But man, he deserves it. Like, he's been in NXT forever, and and just with Vince gone, like, I know he's gonna be utilized correctly, and I don't have to worry about him like not being respected, right? I don't have to worry about someone saying like, oh, he's too short. Oh, he's 38 years old. Oh, he doesn't speak the English the right way, the way that we want him to speak English. So, man, good for him. Good for him. He's going to be at the main roster. Don't know how soon. I'm pretty sure within the next couple weeks. But, man, fun match overall, though. I liked it.
I like Escobar, too. Like, I always thought, this guy's money. And, I didn't like his Cruiserweight title run, and I'll explain why. Because when he was Cruiserweight champion for that long, at the same time you had Finn Balor as the NXT champion. And, I made a comparison. I'm like, imagine, somebody watching NXT for the first time, and you have to go, guess which one of these guys is the World Heavyweight Champion? And you're like, oh, it has to be the big Mexican, it has to be the swole Mexican guy, right? Nope, it's the skinny, cute Irish guy. What? He's the world champion? You know what I mean? Because, like, him with that title is kind of how I feel about Lashley as the U.S. champion, where I almost feel like that was beneath him, because it feels like he's a big fish in a small pond. And I never got the booking of Escobar, because, like, this guy's money. Like, this guy is what you wanted Andrade to be. It's what you wanted Alberto Del Rio to be. Like, he's talented, he can talk, he can speak perfect English, and like, they basically just made him the guy to put over the other guy, which I never understood. But now I'm glad he's on the main roster. I'm glad he's going to get more opportunities. Will he be there Eddie Guerrero? Will he be in the main event? Will he do A, B, C, and D? I mean, only time will tell, because, again, he's talented as fuck. He can talk. He's charismatic. He can be a face. He can be a heel. So, we'll see. Next is the NXT Women's Championship. You have Mandy Rose defending against Zoe Stark. Again, another match that could have gone either way, because I was under the impression that, because, Toxic Attraction lost the match to become the Women's Tag Team Champions, that, okay, so I guess we're getting Toxic Attraction on the main roster. And I thought, Mandy was going to do the honors of giving Zoe the title. No, she's not. She, flash forward to, to the end of the match, Mandy wins the match by taking Zoe's knee brace off and using it to get the win. I thought that was a creative ending, but at the same time, it kind of felt like it was rushed, which I guess I understand and I don't, because, like, Toxic Attraction, Gigi and JC got thrown out, so Mandy had to fight on her own. So I was like, all right, is Mandy gonna, cheat? Is she gonna do something? No, they just made her look stronger over Zoe, but in a more clever way, I guess. But, what was your opinion on the match?
Very good match. I thought Here We Are Raw has some pretty damn good wrestling overall, on the show. But, I didn't like the ending. I'll tell you why.
Why?
One, I thought Zoe Stark was gonna win. Kind of shocked that she didn't win. Two, Mandy Rose is basically having her, have her Triple H 2003 Reign of Terror with this title.
Right.
Not in a bad way, because I like Mandy. That's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like who's gonna beat her at this point? Well, actually, I'll leave a comment about that in a second here. I mean, I think I know who may beat her if this match is given any opportunity. One of two people actually. But the reason why I don't like the end of the match was because she took off Zoe Stark's knee brace and uses the knee brace to win.
Right.
Isn't that a disqualification?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, wait, isn't that technically a weapon?
Isn't that a DQ? That's not part of your. That wasn't a part of your attire, or that was not. How should I say? That was not approved attire. When the match was sanctioned, when the match was started. I'm just saying this in kayfabe sense. Like, that was not approved. So if that was not approved, if that wasn't approved by management, by the official in the ring at the start of the match, that is a foreign object. That should have been a disqualification.
Like, here's the best way to do that ending, is if the referee is knocked out, and
Exactly.
Mandy rips it off and then kicks her in the face, and then as the referee is getting up and regaining consciousness, then that's when you take the knee brace off. Like that would have made more sense, but it's just like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, that's technically a weapon. like that wasn't yours. Like, that can technically be used as a weapon, but I don't know.
I like the match, but just the ending was kind of yeah. I didn't really understand the ending. It didn't make sense to me.
So at this point, do you think Nikita is going to be the one that takes the belt from her?
Oh, maybe.
What?
But with NXT UK coming in, we saw Gallus, great tandem in NXT UK. If you guys don't watch NXT UK, I think NXT UK is going to go away. So that's why we saw a lot of NXT UK influence last night. But I'm thinking about one of two people. Either Bea Priestley, well, Blair Davenport, but Bea Priestley, Mrs. Will Ospreay, right? Who made her debut last night on NXT, confronting Indy Hartwell backstage,
Bitch. Not playing.
or Meiko Satomura, who is basically, if you have not seen Meiko Satomura, she's basically Asuka, but even more angry. She is fantastic. She's 42 years old, and I'm about to give you guys some trivia here. Meiko Satomura wrestled on WCW Nitro. So that's how long her career is. She wrestled on WCW Nitro.
Oh wait, I know who you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah. She is fantastic. Great. If they want to go in a new era of NXT, and I currently right now, I really think that everyone's saying, Shawn Michaels is running NXT. No, it's Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard is still pulling the strings back there with NXT. I think this is like his last little, his last little power that he has before Triple H really comes in and starts cleaning up NXT, because NXT has virtually been the same. It's still the same show, you can tell, since Triple H has taken over power, right? This is not a Triple H production as of yet. But once Triple H starts taking over, I can definitely see him putting the title on someone like Meiko Satomura, and just letting her just do her thing down there and just have a long dominant reign like Asuka did, and maybe bring her up to the main roster one day. But she's 42 years old, so I don't know like how much time you can have with her on the main roster. But who knows? Maybe she doesn't even want to come over to the States. I don't know either. But overall, if she does come over to the States, I definitely see her doing that, taking the title, either her or Blair Davenport. One of those two.
And like you mentioned, Blair Davenport made her debut on NXT by ripping up Indy Hartwell's letter from Dex. So Index continues. The love for Index continues, which I'm happy. I love. So I'm happy for this. Next we have the main event is Braun Breaker, the champion, versus the former Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, for the NXT Championship. I wasn't feeling this match personally. I mean, I get what's been going on with Braun lately, because they have to put him in with guys that are good hands, that can make Braun look like $1 million in the ring. So, I mean, because they did with what the fuck's his name? Cameron Grimes. They did with Dolph. Cameron Grimes. And now with this JD guy, and I just, to me, I wasn't feeling this match. I was actually kind of like, there's a point where I just stopped paying attention to the match. I'm like, all right, Braun's winning this. Like, come on. Like, let's just be real. Braun's gonna win this. Why do we think this JD guy is anything good? I mean, even as Jordan Devlin, he really wasn't that good. Everyone was like, oh, he's Finn Balor's protege. I'm like, he doesn't even have a fifth of Finn Balor's charisma or his in-ring ability. So I wasn't feeling the match, didn't care for it. Braun gets the win. And after the match, you have Tyler Bate come out. So let me kind of backtrack that statement. So I made a comment on social media where I'm like, oh great, it's another vanilla UK guy for Braun to beat. I knew it was Tyler Bate, and because I know somebody commented on which will they'll remain nameless, that how do you not know who Tyler Bate is? I'm like, because I got better shit to do. Like, I don't watch NXT UK. I'm sorry. Like, me and RJ have had this talk 1,000 times before. We don't have all the time in the world to watch every single wrestling show. Thus, we don't have all the time in the world to know every single wrestler on the face of the planet. I don't watch NXT UK, guys. I'm sorry. So, forgive me. It's apparently my job as a podcaster to know every wrestler in the company. So, whatever. The world. But I know who Tyler Bate is. So he comes out, and he's the NXT UK champion. Which somebody on social media pointed something out that apparently they're having a tournament for the UK title, and I guess him coming out as the champion kind of, I guess, is a spoiler. I mean, is that true?
It hasn't happened yet. I mean, the spoiler's been out there for like almost 3 weeks now, so it's like, All
right, so there you go. Tyler Bate comes out and basically does the whole, hey, my title for your title, or champion versus champion. So we got that to look forward to. But what'd you think about the match and after the match?
Match started off slow, ended fine. I mean, it did what it needed to do at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't, no one really thought that Jordan Devlin, JD McDonald was gonna be Braun Breaker, right? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it wasn't thrown together because they did build this match. They built it up. Was it a good build? Not really, but they built the match up. But yeah, I mean, with Tyler Bate coming out, with the tournament technically not even happening yet, which is hilarious to me. That's just a telltale for me thinking that NXT UK is ending if they have him come, because WWE, they never really done that before. And I'm trying to think of the history of WWE. Like, you probably need to go back to the early 90s where a champion has came out on TV and the titles haven't been changed yet, like at a house show or like at a on a TV tape or whatnot. So for the fact that they're building up a match between Braun Breaker and Tyler Bate when Tyler Bate technically has not won the title yet on television is a telltale sign that NXT UK is gonna be ending. I mean, I hope I'm wrong about that because I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. But I'm just that's just kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. But yeah, no, Tyler Bate, fantastic wrestler. Back in 2017, I watched the original UK tournament, right, when they first crowned the NXT UK champion. So him and Pete Dunne in the finals. I saw Tyler Bate in a dark match here in San Antonio at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. So I've been a big fan of Tyler Bate ever since I first started watching him, and it was like in late 2016, I want to say, when I was seeing some of his progress stuff. Him and Pete Dunne, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty good. But yeah, no, him and Braun Breaker, that's gonna be a fantastic match. Fantastic match. We'll see on what direction that they're going to go in. Are they going to do a title for title? Are they going to do a, just like a unification? That's something that we got to, kind of wait and see. But yeah, very, very excited to see where this goes in the future.
Right. So that was NXT Heatwave, guys. And I was actually at that takeover in San Antonio. It was at the Freeman Coliseum, and
Amen, yes, sir.
Yeah, that whole weekend I was there. I was at the Rumble too. We actually had nosebleeds because those are the cheapest tickets we can afford. And
the Rumble?
Yeah, the Rumble in 2017. Okay. And
right.
Rumor is that the Rumble is coming back in 2023 in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
So yay. So that's all the shows. Let's get to ratings. So the ratings for this week, Raw from August 15th, 2022, drew a 1.978, which is up from last week, 1.956. SmackDown. Let's get to SmackDown. SmackDown actually got a pretty good rating this week. They got a... have it right here. SmackDown from August 12th drew a 2.4331, which is the highest rating they've gotten since, I believe, Christmas Eve in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So, good for SmackDown. I don't know. Let me see if the NXT ratings are out.
Last week.
NXT for this week, August 16th. Is that right?
From this week, duh.
Heatwave actually got a pretty good rating, 723,000, which is 126 more viewers than the previous week. So good for NXT. And, Dynamite was on tonight, so we won't know until possibly tomorrow. Should we just skip the news and just do questions? Because there's like two news things that are just kind of like, I don't really...
Yeah, I think we should just skip the news, yeah.
Yeah, there's, Sasha Banks, her car got broken into, and Adam Page says he doesn't take advice from old people because he's a cowboy and does cowboy shit and blah blah blah. So
start the countdown. 3, 2, 1. The Drew Yari Show begins now.
Turn it up.
Hey guys, this ends the free portion of the show, but if you want to listen to the full unedited version of this, make sure you head over to my Patreon. For just $5 a month, gets you stuff like this as well as new and original content.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.